The spirit of the river, the tale of the Koudia in the arid expanse of Niger, where the Sahara meets the winding course of the Niger River, there lies a secluded riverbank known as Koudia. The river has always been a lifeline for the surrounding villages, providing water, nourishment, and sustenance. However, Koudia is also known for its powerful guardian, the Koudia spirit, a spectral entity believed to control the river's flow and ensure that its gifts are shared with all who respect its bounty. The legend of the Koudia spirit speaks of a time when the land was struck by a devastating famine. The fields lay barren, and the people of the surrounding villages faced the harsh reality of hunger. In their desperation, they turned to the river, hoping it would provide the salvation they so desperately needed. The elders, wise in the ways of tradition and respect for the spirit world, warned the villagers to approach the river with humility and reverence. For the Koudia spirit was both a benefactor and a formidable force. During this period of desperation, a wealthy and influential merchant arrived in the village of Koudia. Known far and wide for his vast wealth and resourcefulness, the merchant offered to help alleviate the famine. However, his true motives were far from noble. The merchant saw the river not as a source of life, but as an opportunity to expand his riches. He intended to exploit the river's resources to amass even greater wealth, showing little regard for the sacred nature of the river or its guardian spirit. With a sense of entitlement, the merchant and his entourage descended upon the riverbank. Ignoring the elders' warnings, they began their work with fervor, using large nets and other tools to extract as much fish and treasure from the river as possible. The merchant even brought with him a ceremonial dagger, believing it would grant him dominion over the river and its spirit. His arrogance knew no bounds as he flaunted his perceived control over the river's resources. As the merchant's men worked tirelessly, the mood of the river began to change. The once tranquil waters started to churn, and dark, ominous clouds gathered overhead. The villagers, who had retreated to their homes in fear, could sense the rising tension in the air. They knew that the Koudia spirit was displeased and that the river's changing behavior was a sign of impending danger. Despite the growing storm, the merchant remained undeterred. He continued to command his men, directing them to extract even more from the river. His defiance was met with increasing fury from the spirit. The storm grew more violent, with lightning flashing across the sky and thunder rumbling like a celestial warning. The river's current became wild and unpredictable, threatening to engulf everything in its path. The Koudia spirit manifested in a ghostly form, a spectral figure with glowing eyes and an aura of otherworldly power. Its presence was marked by a voice that resonated like rolling thunder. "You have taken what was not yours," the spirit's voice boomed. The river's gifts are meant to sustain all who live in harmony with it, not to be hoarded by the greedy. The storm's intensity reached a peak as the river's current became a raging torrent. The merchant's men struggled to maintain control of their boats, their cries for help swallowed by the roar of the river. The merchant, clinging to his ceremonial dagger, attempted to assert his authority over the spirit, but his efforts were in vain. The Koudia spirit's wrath was unrelenting.